the computer. I just the buttons. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Let me point that finger to me. Okay. So we're recording. I'm going to start officially, and then we can get into it. Love it. The Zoom room is getting full. So I think this is a good topic that I chose. Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Lucille, and I am founder and owner of Club Artistry Heaven, which is basically a digital product store. When I started, after I've lost 2 employment contracts uh, in the UK, it was terrible. I had limited savings, and I had to start doing something to earn money on the side. 2 years later, here we are, and I'm busy. I'm basically speaking and helping others who are on the same journey as I am, trying to earn money from our efforts. And I just try and make the learning curve a lot shorter, and then just create awareness out there of the things that I've done wrong, so that you can earn quicker and that you can get to your successes quicker. So if you watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It would really help. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for continuously supporting. I really appreciate all the support. Okay. So this week we are already on week 5. Can you imagine? Just drop 5 for me. So, so we can push the video out, right? So, week 5, if you've missed the rest of 1, 2, 3, and 4, please go to my Facebook community. They are all under events. Please remember, with Facebook, the videos are only kept for 30 days as per Mark and his rule that he made last year, October, I think, in 2025. We can't keep videos for longer than a month. So if you don't catch it within the month on Facebook, then you'll have to go to the YouTube channel, which is, it's there indefinite, right? So we've had 4 prior lives, tutorials, lessons on topics that you guys voted for. And we are number 5 now, and we will be talking about junk journals. One of my favorite things to create and sell on Etsy. I haven't been creating them for a while, and it's going to be something that I definitely get into again, and just filling up the vault with some prompts. And I think there's quite a bit of you who are serious scrapbook creators and junk journal sort of fanatics almost. And I think I need to speak on this topic more, even beyond this live webinar. So thank you for joining. You guys must know Faith and Pooja, so that's my support team. I love working with them. So I love putting them there because it's really just not me. It's not, this whole ship is not just me. I do have people that helps me, and they are there. So you know them. Okay. So last week we spoke about getting yourself unstuck. Who enjoyed last week's webinar? Although it wasn't designing, it was more like a big sister talk, right? And letting you guys know the things that I went through, and the self-doubt, and the it's not for me, and whatever, and just being stuck and loving to start projects but never finishing it. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. The energy was wild last week because the amount of feedback that I got from you guys, people was just saying, Lucille, you speaking to me, Lucille, that's me, Lucille, you are talking directly to me. I'm always stuck or whatever. So last week was really, really was something different, even though we didn't design, right? So if you've missed it, again, go to my YouTube channel. And if you're in the Facebook community, as I've said, it's there for 30 days. Although it wasn't designing, I think you can learn a great deal out of what we talked about, okay? This week, so today we're going to speak about junk journaling, like sort of the market, Etsy, the thinking, what it is, what it's not. So we're going to talk about all of that, the role of AI, which is really where I come in. So I'm not a Photoshop girl. I'm not a Photopea girl. I don't work with Affinity. Not because I lack the ability to do it. I think there's a learning curve. And so far, 2 years in, I don't need it. But I love the fact that my community members, they do use it. It's a skill that you can't lose. And anything that I need beyond AI, I've got Sunel. She's a graphic designer, and she knows all those sorts of things, right? So if you want to shift from a hobby to a professional seller, we'll speak on that. And then Etsy's best practice intellectual property. I'm just going to speak on that because I had a case not so long ago where someone was accusing me of stealing their junk journal designs, which is like absolutely false, and we'll get there, right? So the business profit strategy, I'm going to speak on that, like how to make money and just sort of junk journals as a profit-making business. Normal Q&A session, and then just the thank yous, and that's it. So that is what is coming up. Oh, yeah, I know, Lakshmi, long time. I'm so glad you're here. I hope all is well with you. Terrell is asking, is there a YouTube channel as well? Yes, we do have a YouTube channel, Clip Artistry. If you go to YouTube, you can just search for Clip Artistry Heaven. Let's just do that. These are my programs, right? So Doreen will drop these links in a minute. AI Prompt Heaven, if you struggle with prompts, right? If you struggle with prompts and you don't know how to prompt engineer to get what you want, then please go and check out AI Prompt Heaven. I drop weekly prompts there. I drop weekly prompts, so you get fresh prompts every week. Design to Dollar, if you struggle with designing in Canva and you don't know fonts and the hierarchy of fonts and text combinations, and you need help with color palettes and all the fundamentals of Canva, then get yourself into Design to Dollar. Not only do you get tutorials based on what you guys are asking us for, you also get the template. So if it's a wedding invitation or a planner for the year or a website that Sunel has created with Canva code, you get access to everything that we are designing. So not only do you get the tutorial, you also get the template, and what you do with that template is entirely up to you. If you want to sell it, you want to use it in your business, use it as a lead magnet, it's entirely up to you. But the core discussion here is Canva and everything that we can do inside of Canva. If you know me, you know that I love AI twins. So CCC is basically a content clone community where we speak about cloning yourself, how to mock yourself up your designs, and using your twin as your model if you want to use your face and maybe get people to connect with you a little bit more. I speak about how to create your twin, how to make them dance, how to make them laugh, how to make them lip sync, your cartoon version of yourself. All of those lessons are already up in the CCC community. You can join for free as a just being in the community side of things to see what people are doing, what I'm creating, and then you can upgrade later if you so wish. And then the digital product bootcamp. Listen, guys, I'm going to make a lot more videos on the digital product bootcamp. Now, Doreen, when she sees someone in our community struggling with something, right, then she would almost always speak about the bootcamp. Doreen bought the bootcamp, and I think for a couple of months, she can tell her own story, but from what I remember, a couple of months, she didn't sort of do the lessons within the bootcamp. And I don't know, I don't know if I can't remember why she started, but anyway, she then delved into it. She went into the bootcamp, and every lesson that Doreen saw in that bootcamp, she came back to me. She said, Lucille, this program is undervalued in terms of what you're charging for it, the value that she got out of it, and the way she started a PayHip store, and the way it looks. I mean, Doreen, if you want to just drop your link of your store, it's everything that you learned in the digital product bootcamp, which is the PayHip store, which is what I've got, and then the Etsy store, which I've also got. So I speak about all things Etsy, how to set up the psychology of your brand. What does the colors mean? How do you speak to your targeted audience? I go into designing 10 different products. You keep access to those 10 different products, coloring pages, bookmarks, junk journals, clip art, sublimation design. So you get all 10. I give you mock-ups to start there with. So I'm going to speak about the bootcamp because I also see a lot of you guys are now signing up for the bot, right? So you're signing up for the bot, and then so you're signing up for the bot through AI Prompt Heaven, sorry. And when you're in AI Prompt Heaven, I'm getting emails that you guys are overwhelmed because of where you are, not because of the setup of the course. Is there something wrong? I'm getting people telling me, Lucille, I signed up for AI Prompt Haven, but I feel like it's for someone who's actually selling already. And I feel like it's for someone who understands the whole AI business and how to use AI to create products. And then I would have to cancel their purchase for AI Prompt Haven, and I have to redirect them to the bootcamp. So I'm going to speak more about the bootcamp because I think there might be a disconnect in AI Prompt Haven and people thinking that that is talking about Etsy and talking about setting up a pay store and how to mock up. That's not what AI Prompt Haven is. So you know the Etsy game, you've got your own digital store, you're just getting prompts, so you don't have to sit and struggle with getting prompts that's not as good as you would want it to be. You're getting prompts, tools, etc. So I'm going to speak about the bootcamp a lot more because I'm getting people via YouTube who's never done business with me, who don't know me. They really want to start, but I think, is someone talking? So I have to now go and see who's unmuted themselves. I can't see Doreen. If you can just mute whoever's talking. So I'm going to speak about the digital product bootcamp because I think some of you are starting with AI Prompt Haven and you expecting AI Prompt Haven to teach you on how to start the Etsy store, and that's not what AI Prompt Haven is for. Okay, so just I'm just throwing that out there. If there's any questions, let me know and I will get back to you. If not during the live, after the live. So just before we continue, there's a new product that I've created, which is called the ClipArt Spark Bot. If you've signed up for it, if you've used it, if you've created products with it, will you do me a favor and just drop either a purple or a green heart to let me know that you are using it, and just drop some comments in terms of what you've experienced so far from the bot, because the feedback in the Facebook community has really been amazing. Thank you so much for all of you for sharing your images and your pictures with us. But please, if you love the bot, just like a green heart or a purple heart, let everybody see that you actually love and enjoy your new tool. I've got a good couple of messages here in the Zoom room. Let me just get to it. Oh gosh, this is the worst functionality of Zoom. I'm so sorry, Zoom. I love everything else, but not the not you. I don't even know where to get to the messages. Okay, so everybody can hear me, everybody can see me. That's amazing. Kerry said I made it. Yay. Yes, Kerry. Yeah, you can watch it later, as I've said, in Facebook or on YouTube. Ilse, hello, Ilse. Welcome. Ilse said she's so glad to be here. Thank you, Eve, for answering. The one and only. Ilse is saying 5555. Dale saying 555. Thank you, guys. Ilse saying you ladies are epic. Thank you. Let's go. Just want to see these questions. Yeah, Ellen saying last week was very motivational. That's the vibe I got. A lot of you were just saying, Lucille, I needed that. Some said, I needed that. Eve said it was great. Dale says, yep. Katie said, I'll have to go to Facebook and watch all the others. Yeah, there are 4 other videos in this 8-part series. We're finishing the end of May. Then we are done. Then I'll be taking a break from lives. Ilse saying, I love junk journaling. We're going to get into it now. She also loves the boot camp. Junk journals look beautiful, but I still don't know what they are for. Mary is saying it's beautiful, but I don't know what it's for. There are just people who love it, but I'll go into it. I'll go into it in the webinar. So all the links there, you've got all the links. Doreen posted all the links. Dale is saying, Lucille, would you recommend Design to Dollar or the Digital Product Bootcamp first? So, okay, there Ilse answered. Thank you. Oh, you're good now with your computer, Doreen. She said her computer gave her issues. Yes, everybody's green heart, purple heart. Look at all the hearts in the Zoom community. Wow, they love it. Awesome. And there's a nice write-up by Eve about what junk journals are. Okay. Let's go. So the modern antiquarian, the modern antiquarian, creating and selling cottagecore junk journals with AI. That's what we are talking about today. Let me just do this. Okay, so how it's going to go is I'm going to speak on all things junk journal, especially if Ellen, who was Mary was saying she doesn't know what it's about. So I'm just going to lay the foundation quickly. I'll share some prompts with you. We're going to design some junk journals based on one particular set of prompts, and then you're going to share your prompts with me. I don't think we can share in Facebook, but we can definitely share in the Zoom community. And as you guys share in the Zoom community, I'll just put it on the screen so everybody can see in the Facebook community how things are going. Clarissa saying clip art spark is amazing, saved me so much time. I love it. And she gave us 5 hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I see my mom's also watching, Michelle Flores. Hello, mom. Awesome. Okay, so the cottagecore craving, a digital cottagecore scrapbook presentation, right? So what is it? It is keeping a memory of something or an event or a life or whatever. So it's really like telling a story in a sense, right? Recent craft reporting. It highlights screens, like digitally, it highlights screens of fatigue. It highlights the fact that we are screen fatigued, basically. We are so tired of the screens that scrapbooking is something that we can do to get away from the screen, basically, right? In terms of us spending so much time on the blue screens. Some people enjoy the fact that they can craft physically, right? So I'm going to speak physical journaling as well as the digital junk journaling space, which is where we come in, right? I think it's important to understand the thinking behind the physical side of junk journaling before you can actually create something that will sell to someone who's going to print out your designs and use it in their private space, okay? Lakshmi saying, Mom, you have an amazing daughter. Thanks, Lakshmi. Okay, so what is a junk journal? It is a handmade it's handmade with little bits of different elements, if you want to call it, that makes up a vintage look of a junk journal. As the word says, junk journal. So it's almost like putting some junk pieces of things, such as a lace trimming, it's a coffee stain, it's a ripped, torn page. There's a lot of elements, which we'll cover in this lesson, that can be used to make up a junk journal. Okay, so this is just in terms of the look and what goes into it, right? So it's important that you understand ephemera, and it's important that you understand what type of elements makes up a junk journal. Now, everybody, I'll show you on Etsy. Everybody's got people have different ideas. What should be maybe just images, people will label as a junk journal. But I think you need to understand that junk journal in the natures is backwards looking. So it reflects on history, which means it's an old piece of paper with faded handwriting, coffee stains, as I've mentioned, lace trimmings, and there's space for you to write. Very importantly, there's space for you to write so that you can record whatever it is. As I've said, a recipe book, maybe something about a life journey, something that's happened in your life and that's very dear to you that you keep as a keepsake, right? So, and it really can be anything. So unlike structured scrapbooks, unlike planned digital planners that looks like perfect, junk journal does not require you to have perfection in it. So again, the torn pages, the coffee stains, the lace trimming, and I'll show you some more evidence or examples of it, right? That is what a junk journal is, and it's definitely not perfect. It's the one design that doesn't have to be perfect, and it will still sell. Okay, so the AI advantage in an analog world. Traditionally, you will go to like a thrift store and get some of these things like cotton pieces or again the lace trimmings or anything that will make it sort of seem like a vintage type of design. If you are doing the physical creation of a junk journal, you will go to a place like this to buy it. The problem there is limited supply. Not everybody's got all of these elements that's necessary for a physical junk journal. And the cost is high. It's not going to be cheap. All these little bits of pieces just to make up one page or one theme. It's a lot of parts that you have to buy to make this physical junk journal, right? So searching for it, you can search for these kind of shops online, and it's not really where I am into what I'm into, but I'm going to show you how we do this digitally, which is really where I play a lot, right? So AI assisted generations is basically an AI prompt. So we replicate this hobby, this style of design, this type of keepsake sort of journal that people are doing in the physical world. It's now not being replaced, but complemented by AI. So how do we do it in the digital side of things? We use a prompt, which is what I'll share with you in a minute, and we can generate our own, just replicating what a physical junk journal would look like. AI bridges the gap between imagination and raw material. So you would have to go to a thrift store or a vintage store to get some sort of elements, a dried out leaf or a dried out piece, tree leaf or whatever, flower, and you want to paste it in there. Where instead of going through all of that, you prompt it into your junk journal page, right? So AI came along, and now instead of doing this whole longer process, we can now do it digitally. And honestly, it's just by putting in the proper prompt in your software, and then you'll come up with images such as these ones over here. That's really our objective with junk journals. Okay, so your prompt must be good, and your prompt must be consistent, and that's really where I come in with AI Prompt Heaven, and also the guidance that I give in my Facebook community. Okay, so AI does not replace the craft. It does nothing about AI replaces any traditional graphic designers. There's no such thing. People are getting weird online. Have you guys seen how these people are just like anti-AI in a way that it's actually quite shocking. I can't believe so many years after OpenAI, November 2022, there are still people and movements that's totally against AI. Like last week, I had 2 people in my group coming in and speaking about AI. It's an AI group. It's a group for digital product sellers. We're not hands-made crafters here. We are digital product sellers. So I'm still seeing people pushing back against AI as if AI can replace people like exactly match. I know there's certain things that AI can do where we don't need to do it the traditional way, but it's not a match for match. There's definitely it's in my view, AI can't do everything. That's the thing. Okay, it supplies the ultimate customized raw material. Your whole job or objective here should be to use AI to recreate these elements that I've just said. You have to get into your car, drive, go buy some physical items to make up this junk journal. And if that's your thing, if that's how you want to do it, by all means, no one is saying that you're not supposed to do it. We are just saying there's a new way now, and it's with AI. Okay, moving along. Lakshmi is saying, I usually leave a comment and say, when they start paying all my bills, I will care what the anti-AI mob is talking about. Until then, I respect their views, but will continue with my use of AI. For me, it's just weird. It's just mind-blowing that people are still anti-AI. And even in what we are doing, guys, you cannot rely on AI to bring you, to do everything for you. That's a lazy mindset. You have a concept and you let AI build it out for you, and you work with AI. It's not, oh, I don't have to do anything. Let AI do everything. I never, that was not my message ever. And I don't see AI as that. So From random craft to purposeful product, Etsy is a thriving marketplace for distinctive items. As of December 2025, the platform boasts 86.5 million active buyers and over 100 million items. So that's Etsy for you. And guess what? That's only one marketplace. Okay. So in terms of the mindsets, if you are hobbyist mindsets, you will typically fall into this category. You focus on random decorations, make a pretty journal for, again, a subject that speaks to you, birth of a child, your wedding, a holiday that you've gone on. You're making notes of where you've stopped and whatever, and there's space to write in your physical journal. And that is kind of your vibe. That's what you do. You use messy construction, in other words, the elements that I've spoken about. And that's really where you fall in, right? You're not doing this for money. The seller mindset is to focus on purposeful themes. So now you guys need to start listening, right? Eve saying they are scared. I don't understand. Me too. Like even when AI started out, I was never against it. I was more like, wait, are you telling me this thing can make my job easier? I want more of that. I've always been that type of adopter. I've never been, no. Even in the beginning, there were this blog writing, they were saying, it's unethical. You can't write blogs with AI. You're taking jobs from other people. I'm like, what? This thing is writing like a human. So why must I pay a blog person to write? And then it wasn't long when even the best of the best blog writers were on YouTube saying, listen, I'm using AI to write my blogs, virtual assistants using AI. So I was never hesitant. I was always an early adopter, and I am glad I stuck it out. So the seller mindset is purposeful themes, right? So what do I mean by that? Your junk journal must have a story. So you cannot, like with clip art, if you do random clip arts in a bundle, it won't sell. If your colors are disconnected, if your story is disconnected, if your art style doesn't speak cohesive and uniform, you're not going to sell the bundle. That's just like it. That's like clip art 101, right? So with junk journal, same thing. It needs to be a cohesive looking bundle. It needs to speak a story, animals or flowers or strawberry jam or whatever it is the story is about. That is the first thing that you need to get right. Okay. So you're designing it for a specific person. I love making the Sunday school teacher example because it's such a good example to make. So if you want to make a junk journal bundle based on a Bible story, then it needs to be Bible story throughout. The characters must be consistent. The colors must be consistent. It's the same thing with clip art, right? Durable, it ensures durable construction. So the consistency is you construct it in a way that is consistent throughout, and it solves a customer's need. So why would this person buy a Bible story junk journal? There must be a purpose and a need for it. So that you will have to figure out if you want to write the right SEO for this product, right? A junk journal becomes sellable when it moves from a random collage to a structured product ecosystem. Hey, Cheryl, no problem. The replay will be available, so you will be able to watch the beginning. So basically, how the story goes, what the process is, the anatomy of a sellable journal, right? So the cover of the journal is obviously very important. This is more for a physical journal, right? So what would make a sellable journal? The cover must be durable, so it's nice and hard, physical again, because we do digital, but just what the traditional junk journal person would. The cover must be durable, so it's a little bit harder, and it's just to protect the inner pages, okay? And it sets the tone for the rest of the journal. So if you're talking about mushrooms, have a nice mushroom aesthetic page on top of the physical journal and make sure that it's durable. The structure, the functional foundation, usable writing space, because it's all about writing and journaling, as the word suggests. So even when you create images for your junk journal pages, make sure there's space. Your prompt must have space to write, or you need to ask for writing lines, or you need to ask for faded handwriting. It's all about journaling. You're writing down a story, okay? And that's why I say when you go on Etsy, you'll see a lot of different sort of qualifications of what someone thinks a junk journal is. But the most important thing for the person buying it is that there's writing a blank page with some writing space, and then you just place your elements, your ephemera around it, leaving enough space to write, okay? Ephemera is very important, so you need to prompt, for example, fussy cuts, tags, coffee stains, silk trimmings, whatever. And then it must have the vintage touch, because this is not a beautifully Canva digital planner. This is not what we're doing here. These are two polar opposites, right? Your junk journal needs to have a vintage touch. That's very important. It's a very important distinction. Okay, so the 5 pillars of a purposeful product. So the theme, as I've mentioned, it needs to be consistent Bible story, strawberry jam, picnic, fairies. What is your story? What is making this one so unique? So botanical, dark academia, cottagecore, those are very popular themes that's selling on Etsy. So you need to look at the theme. You need to consider the buyer. Who is buying it? A writer, a bride, a planner, a grieving person. That's also a good angle to go, like a grieving person, and then just creating something in that space. The function, what is it for? Is it a wedding guest book, a travel keepsake? I've mentioned travel before, a faith journal also, but with a vintage touch. So you need to understand what the function is for this particular journal that you're going to create. Usable structure, flat lay, binding, pockets, writing space. Again, very much a physical journal, but you need to understand this to create the digital one, so that you create it with purpose, so that you can get to the right person who understands the physical junk journal. Make sure your product has got all these ticked off, okay? If I'm making sense, please just let me know that I am making sense to you guys. And then a presentation plan, again, for physical junk journals. For us, it would be the mock-up images. Make sure that the mock-up image has got some of the images that you're including in the bundle. Perhaps a woman holding it with nicely manicured nails, and she's holding a book that resembles a physical junk journal, because you want to give that feel as if they're buying a physical journal, obviously making it very clear that there's no physical products. That's what we can do with mock-ups. We use mock-ups to show the person what it would actually look like in a physical sense, right? So although I'm touching on traditional junk journal, the hardcover copied one, or the physical one, you need to understand it to go into the digital side of things. Handmade journals is a weak promise. It's like if you're going to say handmade journal, like that's it. It's like very weak. A vintage floral writing journal with pockets and ephemera is a product that converts. So can you see the difference? If you've just got like a basic journal, it's very weak. It's got no commercial value. But if you go in vintage floral writing journal with pockets, ephemera, folio, fussy cuts, some clip art today, if you build it up like that and you present it nicely in your mock-up, now you're competing with the best out there. So just get that shift in your head, right? And I'm actually preaching to myself here as well. Just based on my research and the fact that I haven't been doing junk journals in a long time, even I have to up my game from just doing the stock standard pages. I have to now shift from very generic to a bit more elements added into it, so that it's actually worth competing on Etsy, okay? So just so that you guys understand the categories on Etsy, right? There's a lot of junk journals, yes, but let's understand where each one sits. So method of creation can fall into these different Etsy categories. You physically craft, alter, or assemble the journal by hand. That is not us. We are not doing anything by hand. If you want to, you can do it. I'm not going to do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. I'm not doing it. Okay. So you physically make building one from scratch and then you're selling it as a handmade item on Etsy. I'm not that. You are not that. Okay. I can't even show you how to do that from scratch. So I'm just pointing out the whole spectrum of things so that you understand. You are using AI to generate original digital ephemera kits and sell it as PDFs. That is us. We are together. Yeah. This is what we do. And that falls in the digital download category. Okay. That's us. You curate bundles of physical paper, scraps, and pieces. You basically, all the things that I said earlier when I started out, what's included. What's included. You are a craft supplier. So you are the one selling bits and pieces, lace trimmings and cotton pieces and dried leaves and everything that gives it a vintage look and feel. That is a supplier. That's not us. Okay. The physical materials are verified to be at least 20 years old. When you get to 20 years old on Etsy, now it falls into vintage, the category vintage. That's also not us. So we play here. We play here. Digital, yeah, this is our focus. But it's good to understand these ones. Okay? So the golden rule of AI. George, don't start, George. The golden rule of AI and intellectual property. Okay? So transparency is your strongest conversion tool. Buyers in this niche pay for stories, process, and honesty. Please, guys, you need to get into the habit of disclosing that you're using AI in your designs, right? Just let the people know you've made this with the power of AI to bring the best and latest designs to you, blah, 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 whatever your story is. Do a declaration. So that is very important to Etsy. Rule 1, disclose that AI was used. Rule 2, respect IP. Never use trademarked characters, Mickey, Disney, Elsa, Labubu. Stay away from these things. Never use trademarked characters, existing artist scans, or branded ephemera without rights. If you don't have the rights, stay away from them. I'm laughing because George is saying, I think we need a new bot. So I said, please, no, George, don't start. So please disclose AI in your listings. Please respect IP, and originality always wins. Vintage digital files still require compliance with IP rules. Do not resell mass-produced goods as handmade or digital files, right? So just follow these golden rules, please. And also, just in terms of photography, buyers cannot touch the paper or test the pockets online. They can't, right? So your mock-up is going to sell your junk journal. So the one on the left, if this is your level, you're not going to get very far. You really need to make sure that mock-up looks so real. And we have no excuse now with ChatGPT Images 2.0. You can ask it to make this image as if it's a physical product as a mock-up image for Etsy. Please design whatever. So make sure you are using all the listing requirements. So make sure that you've got the title, all the right words are there. Who is it for? The hook. We spoke about this. Oh, we spoke about this actually in D2D. There's a video up for those in the D2D community where I spoke about how to write winning SEO titles for Etsy, which is not a public video. It's just for those in that community. Go check it out. Got confused now. Use all I know it says 10 photos. I think it's now 20. Use all the photos. I won't do 20. Sorry, I'm saying all the photos slots because for 10, I would do all 10. But when they say 20, I still stuck to 10. It's entirely up to you. Use your 13 tags, please. And make sure that you've got a decent mock-up image as the first one to lock your members in, okay? Your potential buyers in. Hello, Karen. Welcome. I'm not going to speak much on the profit equation. It's basically just breaking down the fees. We all know the fees, transaction 6.5 and then 20 cents listing. The core rule, do not price on optimism. If the price only covers papers and glue, the business model is broken before the first sale. So again, this speaks to physical more, but price for your time, price for the effort that you put into it. Yeah. So again, pricing strategy for beginners. The video is done. I don't think I've uploaded in D2D, but I speak on pricing. Or did I? I don't know. I can't remember. There's a pricing video in the D2D community for the Etsy 101 store where I talk about pricing and not undercutting other people and whatever. So it's either there or I still need to list it, but the video is done. So the AI Crafters Manifesto, we should live by this as AI sellers. We use AI to spark imagination, not replace the human touch. So you must still use your human brain to try and understand what are junk journals, what are the buyer looking for, what type of stories or themes should I build into it. AI is great, but it needs your human touch and your human input, right? We build purposeful ecosystems, honor our materials, price for profit, and turn ordinary fragments into extraordinary products. That's really what we do. And that's why people love AI, because with the evolution and the updates of all these systems, we're just getting better and better and better results. If you look at ChatGPT's image generator 2 years ago compared to today, look at where we are today. Look at the things that we can make. I can make carousels, which I hate doing, but I know the power of a carousel. I don't like going to Canva and having to create carousels. I create carousels now from a website link, and I ask ChatGPT, give me 10 consistent carousels, use my branding, this is my logo, slap it on each and every one. I don't have to do carousels in Canva anymore, okay? And then just as a final blueprint, define your first theme and target. Just get the story straight. Who are you selling to? Is it for a school teacher? Is it for an educational teacher? Is it for is it the whimsical theme that you're going for? What is it that you're going? Is it for a nurse? Get that right. Okay. Prompt your first digital ephemera sheet. Obviously, not everybody can prompt off the bat. That's why AI Prompt Heaven is there. Or you can use ChatGPT and just go and ask for some prompts. Assemble your prototype with intention. So package it nicely. Make it the mock-up as realistic as possible. And then also the photograph speaks to mock-up generation, right? So this is the blueprint. You need to get the buyer and the theme right, because this thing of selling to everybody is not working. Okay. So any questions before I share the prompts and before I show you how I would create them, or one of the ways I create them? Any questions, anybody? Let me see comments in the Zoom room. Yeah, George is saying ChatGPT 2.0 is really awesome. I agree with you. Doreen is saying there is a tool in AI Prompt Heaven, Members Toolkit. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move along. I'm going to take you to my screen. Doreen, do you have the link for the prompts? Awesome. She read my mind. Okay, so in the Zoom room, you've got the prompts, and then in the Facebook community, she'll drop it now. You can also just open it. It's a PDF that I've prepared. I'm going to use the same prompts, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys. Give me a sec. Download. The prompts. And then the link is in the Facebook community. So if you want to join in with us, you can design them now and share them later in the Facebook group. And those in the Zoom, you can just share your designs with us live. Okay. So I'm going to use 2 or 3 systems just to show you guys. What's wrong here? This one. Did I upload the wrong? Okay, so just let me know. I'm not sure if I uploaded the wrong document, but you should be getting this. You should have access to this. Let me know, please. Okay, and then you should have the bundle here. Yep, got it. Okay, Eve's got it. Let's go. So I'm going to use these systems. So I've got Freepik, which is now called Magnific. I don't know if you guys know, it's now called Magnific, Freepik, Magnific. I'm going to use Artistly, and I don't know if we want to use ChatGPT, but we can. So I'm going to go to my prompts. Okay, so we've got the prompts on the left, and we've got the tool that we're going to use on the right. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to copy the prompt, and I would make it, I know the sheet is saying 2 by 3. I would go 3 by 4. I paste the prompt, and then I'll just do my selection here, 3 by 4. I'll make 4 images, and then I just click generate. I'm going to go to Artistly. I'm going to go to, if you don't know, Artistly is $49 once off. You pay once and never again, and you get access to some of the tools, not all of the tools, okay? And if you want to upgrade to the premium, it's $147. So you pay the difference then afterwards between the two, and you get access to everything. I can't tell you what is included and what's not because it's too many things that Artistly offers. So I'm going to go to Art Illustrator over here. I'll click on my favorites here. Let me just make this slightly smaller. And I'm just showing different tools because different people use different tools, okay? And then I'm going to go to these two, the Grunge Scrapbook and the Steampunk Journal. I'm going to go on this one, paste the prompt, 4, and then again 3 by 4 is my aspect ratio. I'm going to click generate, and I'll go to the third one. Okay, with ChatGPT, just go create image, and then paste, and then take this out, and I'll not take it out. I'll just say, okay. Where's Dale going? Is he leaving? Oh, okay, Siri's got it. Okay, awesome. I love how you guys are chatting um in the Zoom room. Okay, let's see the first one. So this one is based on candy type of theme. This is what I was going for. And the problem here is I didn't set my tool. I went on auto in Magnific. Freepik used to be Freepik, now Magnific. So you can see there's a disconnect here. They all look different. That's not what I want. So I'm going to go into my model. I'm going to go to Seedream 5 Lite. Let me just show you all the models in Freepik. So these are all the models. You've got Nano Banana, ChatGPT 2, Seedream, Flux, Mystic, Google Imagen. The list just goes on and on. Recraft, Grok. I'm going to choose close. I'm going to choose Seedream because now you'll see the difference. Okay, these are just random ones. That's not going to sell. You need to generate to get, choose a model to generate, right? And I think I'm going to delete this. I'll delete this. Let's go to Artistly while we wait. Okay, this is Artistly's output from the prompt that I shared with you guys. I want to see yours in the Zoom room. Please share with me. So this is what the first one came out, and I'm going to go to ChatGPT, which is obviously just one image at a time. And this is not Artistly, ChatGPT's one. Look how beautiful this one is. So it's got the vintage look, the vintage feel. I know the topic that I selected, which is more like candy, is not a typical botanical, or I wanted something a little bit more colorful because you can take it into different directions. So that's what the first prompt came out as. I'm going to go to the second prompt and then just say 3x4, and then just make sure that you click here, create image, so that it does the right thing. I'll go to Artistly, just go back, regenerate. ChatGPT is awesome, Dale. Paste 4 because I can, 3x4, and then I'll go to Imagen. And don't play with Seedream, guys. Do not play with Seedream. See here? So it's got that vintage look and feel, the laces there. And you just need to make sure that everything is consistent throughout the bundle, right? Make sure that you choose. You just do this, paste 4, generate. I'm going to do a whole bunch here. Copy. And choose a story. As I've said, this is not like this is a bestseller design this now. It was just something that I came up with. I wanted a little bit more colorful, so I went with the candy theme. But what you can see is that everything is consistent. The look and feel is consistent. And back in the day, Faith and I had so much fun designing these. Look how beautiful Artistly's junk journal pages are. So can you see at the back, you've got the enough writing space here. If you want, you can take this to Photoshop and you can take it to Canva, and you can add some other elements, but I don't do that. It's just too time consuming. But you are welcome to add some lace, import the downloads into Canva and just do your extra layering. Okay. I actually quite like Artistly's output. How nice canvas looks. Oh, I see some images in the Zoom room. I'll get there now. Oh, these are so gorgeous. Look at the writing space at the back. Can you see here the lines? So you need to be very smart with your prompts so people can write. Maybe they went to a carnival and they just want to add some photos to this type of theme. So your theme is very, very important. Let's go through the rest. So we've got strawberry. Again, the lines are there at the back. This one seems a bit off color. Oh, look at these ones. So it's still got the candy vibe, the not rainbow colors really. Oh, look at this. Oh, let me start downloading some of our members. Let me share with you guys in the WhatsApp. Hey, Shakira. Karen saying, I'm focusing. Hocus pocus, focus. Okay, so this is Joanna's one. She did it in ChatGPT, guys. Look here. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. ChatGPT. Where are the rest? I don't see your images. I only see Joanna. Kerry is saying, looks like ChatGPT is the best. I actually quite like Artistly's as well. They do look, I don't know. Okay. Okay, and then if you scroll down guys, you're going to see 10 supporter folio ephemera. So we're going to try those now. I'm going to copy them. So folio and ephemera is what really adds the commercial value to your bundle, right? So this is amazing. This is wonderful. But people are always looking for the extra, the pockets and the envelopes and the stamps and whatever. So if you generate X amount of images for the handwriting part of the junk journaling, the folio just adds more, as I've said, commercial value and use for the buyer. So it's important that you not just do the images, which is what I've done for a very long time, just like the writing images. But I do, based on my research and having prepared this video, I do feel we have to step up in terms of the additional extra pockets and stuff to go with it. So I'm going to just show you what that looks like. We'll generate, go back. 4 and then 3 by 4. Okay. So this is the third one we did. Oh, look at ChatGPT. Look at this. I love this look. It's like a glittery ChatGPT. Guys, ChatGPT is taking over. You cannot deny the fact that ChatGPT is untouched. Untouched. I am looking forward to the upgrade. You guys know about the upgrade that Artistly is busy with? So there's an upgrade happening with ChatGPT. If you know the date, drop the date for us. I can't remember. So Cheryl also did an image. It's downloading. I'm going to get it for us now. I'll show you guys Cheryl's one. When is the update for, is it V7 for Artistly? Can't remember. There's so many updates. This is what I'm talking about. These are the extra tags and pastel labels, the edges, the whatever. This is what they want. So to add more value to your mock-ups and the whole value proposition that you're giving here, you need to include these, but make sure that the color consistency is there. It can't be random, right? So I'm going to go this way, regenerate, just paste the prompt again. Do you guys like the prompts? Go here. Ooh, look at Sea Dream. Look at Sea Dream, guys. Love it. This is exactly what makes going to add more value to your bundles. When people see these are included, you're already a cut above the rest. Okay. I'm going to show you more pictures from our community. Are there any questions for me? Look at this. Look at ChatGPT. Look at ChatGPT. ChatGPT is unmatched. There is no, oh, guys. That's why I love what I do. I love AI. Change my mind. Change my mind about AI. Like Lakshmi said, until you pay my bills, I'm not changing my mind. So you've got it, right? Everybody, you know how to create. You don't have questions for me. You're good. Ooh, look at Artistly's colors. I love Artistly's deep colors, eh? I love Artistly's deep colors. 3 by 4. Okay. Okay, let me share the members' images. I also love the mushroom style in Artistly. Kerry said, Artistly looks a bit flat to me. Yes. So, Kerry, they don't really layer there, but if you want to, you can add the extra stuff on top of it. But they do sell Kerry. So, again, it's not about what you like, or what I like. I put it out there because I don't know what they would like. So I would still put Artistly's and I'll put Canvas and I'll put whoever else because they need to give me data. Then I know this is what they want. You'll be surprised. You design on data, not what we think they might like. Sorry. Good Artistly. Writing lines. Karen, after the when we finish, you guys can just go and post. You guys can just go and post. As soon as you are done, we're done with this. With this live. Sorry. Let me just do this. Look at this. Okay, so we'll just go through. Look at ChatGPT, guys. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my word. Look at this. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Right? And what they will do, for those who don't still understand the concept, they will cut out these tags and admit tickets and banners. They will cut out and make a little journal with the physical, like hard copy physical journals. And they'll cut out things based on what you have included in your bundle. Okay. Just do this. Are you guys having fun? I hope you guys are having as much fun. Any questions? Oh yeah. So I hope you guys can see, obviously you can see the distinct differences between Seedream. The Seedream is not bad. Look here. Look how cute this is. Look how cute this is. They can go and cut it out and add to the junk journal. Look here. Look how cute these are. Yes, almost like scrapbooking. Look how cute. Look at the lace. Look how nice this is. Oh, yeah. Let me show the members. Then we can finish off. Ask me questions, guys. If you've got questions, let me know. This is George's. Oh, look at George's one. Oh, hold on, guys. Try and tell me where you've created your design so people know. This is George's one. I think this is ChatGPT, George. Oh, George said that these were done in Kittle ChatGPT. So Kittle, and then choosing the tool ChatGPT. That's George's one. Shakira saying, I came in late, so I missed a lot on how I can get started. After this video, it will automatically upload to our Facebook group, Shakira, so you can watch it there. Another one from George. Kitty saying the prompts are awesome. Eve, where did you do yours? Also ChatGPT. This is Eve's one, guys. This is what he came up with. This is Cheryl's one coming up. Artistly. She did this in Artistly. That's her one. Hell saying ChatGPT is kicking. Woohoo, blank, blank. Look at Kerry. She's saying, I'm definitely paying for ChatGPT. Look at Marilyn, guys. Look at Marilyn. Check hers. Marilyn, where did you create yours? This is Marilyn, guys. Look how beautiful that is. That's just from copying and pasting prompts. I did promise you guys more junk journal prompts coming. So you guys voted. I know you guys voted for your favorite ones. The top 6, I'm going to work on them as of tomorrow, and you'll see the prompts in AI Prompt Heaven. It's coming up. Well done, Marilyn. I'm proud of you. This looks beautiful. I'm sure she did it in ChatGPT. I think it looks amazing. Mary is saying, I cannot believe how much ChatGPT has improved. Yeah, it's just been it's a beautiful evolution, Mary, because not so long ago, like a year ago, you would not have said the same thing about ChatGPT. They're untouched. Joanna says ChatGPT. Oh, guys, look at Joanna's one. Look at Joanna's one. ChatGPT, check this. ChatGPT, look at this. You want to tell me someone's not going to buy this bundle with this consistency? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. There's the handwriting, the laces there, uh, the pricing tag, the banners here. Tick, 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 tick. You've got it, Joanna. That's beautiful. Okay, so we've got Midjourney 7.0 from Eve coming up. Dang, Lakshmi, dang. That's what I say. These people are doing awesome work. Look at this image. Joanna, I love your image. Eh? I love this image. Okay, this is Midjourney from Eve. Midjourney from Eve 7.0. Love the colors. The text though. Midjourney's never been the best with text. Is it still? I'm not really using it much. Is it still the text? Well, I can use it via Abacus, but I don't really. Look at this. The text is a bit off. Let's see who else is there. Yeah, Kerry said, I do like the space, the writing that Artistly gives. I also see a bit of that in Magnific. I see that here also, and that's important, Kerry. So there's some writing space, although not as much. Look here, this is also nicely planted there for you to be able to write some writing space. Dale's having fun. Me too, Eve. I can sit and create whole day every day. So George has got another one I'm going to share. Any question, guys? George, where did you do this? George, where did you do this? Oh, this is one of the prompts. Oh. Okay, so this is Ellen, ChatGPT. This is Ellen's coming up. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Try to make it a bit bigger. This is Ellen's one. Love it. Love the cake, the dripping cake, all in the same color scheme. Here's another one from Ellen, and both are ChatGPT. Oh, this one's color is different. Did you change the color? Oh, George's one is Artistly Retro Vibe. So this one, guys, if you want to check out Retro Vibe, this one is the one George used here. Another one from Cheryl. I think ChatGPT. I think we can spot the ChatGPT vibe. Yeah. Cheryl. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for participating. George, where was this one done? Whimsical. Whimsical. I think it's Whimsical Art Style. I think so. ChatGPT. This is Joanna, guys, in ChatGPT. Just by adding these extra pages, right? They can go and cut it out themselves. Will add so much value to your bundle. Yeah, Eve said it's not good. Midjourney is not good for text. George is saying too many. I'm confusing him. Dale coming up. Dale, where was this done? This is Dale. George is saying, come on, Dale. And this is the last one from George. Oh, look at this one, guys. It's got a realistic look and feel. So it depends on what your audience and what your members want. That is the webinar, guys. I've explained to you what junk journals are. I've explained to you the physical side of things so you can get into the mindset of what the traditional journaler for this type of design are into. What do they look out for? I've showed you tools on how to use it. I've shared prompts with you. You've created your own. I think this has been a very fun and engaging session. I hope you guys have learned how to create them. Thank you for all of your contributions. George is saying this was too much fun. I know. Chat. Dale saying chat. You just use ChatGPT. You're welcome, Lakshmi. Thank you so much for staying. Another one from Cheryl. Again, assuming ChatGPT. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's Cheryl's one. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. It's cute. Kerry, you are so welcome. She said she had a lot of fun. And Mary said she loves watching the creations. Mary, I hope you've got a better understanding of what they are, what junk journals are all about. Thanks for the heart, Cheryl. The plesier, groot plesier, Karen. Karen saying, thank you, learned so much. Dankie. Plesier. Thank you for watching. Okay, Ellen did change her color earlier that I showed the two. Thanks for the heart. Keep on giving hearts, guys. I love it. I love this prompt play. What do you mean prompt play? Oh, okay, got it. I'll make it a regular. Awesome. Marilyn saying, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Marilyn. George is saying, I love this webinar. Thank you for making my day. Woohoo! Thank you all for your illustrations. Yes, thank you for all your images and for sharing. And take it to the Facebook community and the school community. So those who haven't watched it, let them get into the video and see what we were all about. You're welcome, Mary. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doreen, for your assistance. Ellen saying, really had fun, took me out of my comfort zone and I participated. That's nice. Yeah, we're going to do mock-ups. I think there are Tumblr apps that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we'll do more of these live prompt plays. I like that. Who said that? Prompt plays. I'm going to coin it now. Prompt plays. Thank you, Doreen. Made my day too, Dale saying. Check you guys in Facebook and in the school platform. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Doreen saying, I'm not a junk journal person, but this was actually fun. Awesome. Let me stop here.